Welcome to the BNB. Today we will be discussing about PancakeSwap, a popular decentralized exchange platform that I made several videos on. Why did I like that platform so much? What happened to it? It went from its all-time high of 43 to now being at $4.60. That's like a 90% drop in value from its all-time high. We also have to understand this so we can this past behavior could guide us in the future and help us make savvy decision in our investing career, crypto or not crypto related. So a small history lesson on just the price point of Kcoin. We need to understand first the Bitcoin price point. Bitcoin in 2020 when the pandemic started, the real pandemic started as I mean like the government started shutting down and everything. This is the Canadian graph. It was 7,000. It was even lower if I believe I'm correct. It was even lower than 7,000 Canadian dollar, which translates to around 5k USD, and it started rising. Bitcoin started rising and rising and rising. We can look at the cake price point. The cake was made in January and started rising and rising and rising. So what actually happened here? So firstly, the rise of Kcoin started with the rise of Bitcoin. As mentioned previously, people's interest in crypto was rising. The mass population started educating themselves on crypto. Even if it was a surface level education, that education led them to understand markets, blockchain technology. So the early people got into it and made Bitcoin and other big market cap coins go move higher and higher. That rise in value led to a domino effect that led to FOMO, fear of missing out, investors coming in. Innovation started rising from all this learning, and capital started flooding in cryptocurrencies. One of these innovations was MetaMask. What is MetaMask? This is the first, I believe, decentralized exchange, fully functional on smart contracts, which meant that no real person was controlling the platform and the money moving in the platform. It was technology at its finest, working and generating people money, APYs and whatnot. Everything that was done on MetaMask was done through smart contracts. So it was just codes doing so whatever you put in money. So nobody was actually like taking your money and moving it. No, it was technology doing its finest, and that's why blockchain technology is so respected or so popular, because it's not no real person is controlling it like banks. Because for example, that's like the worst case scenario. Even though they're regulated, there's so much regulation, hypothetically a bank can steal all your money and run away. But it's literally impossible to imagine that, because there's so much regulation in place, government control and whatnot. But it is a possibility, and that's just a way of thinking. Another fear people would have with banks is that maybe they can freeze your assets, freeze your account, and it has happened several times to maybe criminals or even politicians who have their money in banks and they're charged with corruption or whatnot, so their assets get frozen. Not in the Western world. It actually happens in the developing countries. An example is Turkey. We had many politicians there who lost all of their money. Bank froze their assets and they could do anything. That's why people prefer cryptocurrencies, because even though they might be criminal, they might be doing whatever they want to do, it's their own money. Nobody else is controlling that money. And yes, that is one reason why criminals love cryptocurrencies, and most of the fraudulent transactions are happening on Bitcoin. And now one new innovation, or one somewhat relevant technology on the blockchain, is gambling. A lot of gambling websites are prioritizing Bitcoin because it allows them to hide their earnings. It allows them to do many stuff. So whatever I'm listening, they are bad. There's a bad side and there's a good side, and it depends on you. If you decide that this is a good thing, you invest in it. If you do not like this kind of behavior in money, then you are free to not buy it, and that's the beauty of crypto investing, or in cryptocurrency in general. Now back to the topic. All the cryptocurrency was being purchased somewhere. The biggest exchange in the cryptocurrency world was Binance, and still to this day, I believe it is still Binance. The rise in value of Binance coin went really high. My channel's name is the BNB. It has nothing to do with Binance. When I actually made the channel, I didn't even know what Binance was. Unfortunately, I was a stock investor and a purely stock investor. And actually, the rise in Bitcoin made me educate myself on cryptocurrency. So that rise in popularity in the Bitcoin, the Binance coin and the Binance platform led to the developer creating a decentralized platform that was inspired by MetaMask's open source code. That DeFi platform was PancakeSwap and functioned entirely on smart contracts, not on the Ethereum blockchain, the ERC20, but the BEP20, if I'm correct. If there's a 20, I'm not sure about the 20, but the BEP blockchain, Binance coins, and people were getting more and more excited about this innovation and this new way of banking, because first of all, crypto was getting hyped more and more, and people saw this exciting way of investing, especially when the APYs, as you can see here right now, the APYs aren't going to be as high as they used to be. This is like still 113%. Banks nowadays under your US dollar will give you a percent of interest. These coins were giving out 200. I've seen like 70,000, 80,000, which don't make no sense, but like this is a reputable source or a reputable platform. It was still giving out 200% APY back in the day. So more and more people started investing in PancakeSwap without knowing what a smart contract was, what a DeFi platform was, what cryptocurrency was, or blockchain. That these investors in the finance community are referred as FOMO investor. This was a time period. Remember, all this money, all this investing was happening in a time period where the US and many governments all around the world were giving out free money to people for not working, or even people who were working. So they had a lot of free money was in people's pocket, and the price skyrocketed. Most say early investors recognized that platform was overvalued. So the people who, like I said, that got in early recognize that okay, Kcoin is now overvalued for its early stages of its career, because let's be honest, it's just has started. It's not a real way of banking or moving your money, because they were early investor, which meant they had a lot of coins. If they made a substantial investment from their USD to Kcoin, so when they started recognizing the fact that, oh, I made a lot of money and this is getting overvalued, they started selling. And due to their high volume of coins, the price started declining faster than expected. As you can see here, some might say there was a developer dump too. I cannot like say that's the case or not, but here, boom, a big drop. And we see some big drops happening. This is not a normal graph of a financial asset. This is a really volatile asset, as you can see. So that drop unfortunately caused people to panic sell. People, like I said, the FOMO investor that had no idea what PancakeSwap represented, what blockchain was, and what the smart contract were. So the price started declining even more and more. Here, as you can see, there was a small rise. So the hype started getting back into crypto, or people who started getting familiar with cryptos, and even just investing in general, started learning about buying the dip. And buying the dip is a good way of investing if the asset you are buying is fundamentally strong. Now, uh, you can consider PancakeSwap or Kcoin in general to be a fundamentally strong asset, but unfortunately, it is overvalued for what it gives us right now. So then, unfortunately, decline started happening because it wasn't giving out true value to investors. It was just giving out more and more Kcoin or more of other coins. As you can see, if you get so, if as you can see here, you can get other coins. So you stake your cake, you get other coins, but you're not getting true value. So these are all the finished staking cake. So you would stake cake, then you were getting this much this high coin. I'm not sure what were the API, because they're not 0% because it's over. But as you can see, these coins are giving out 12%. I've never seen a 12% API. It used to be way more. Anchor coin, I believe, is fundamentally somewhat solid coin. I haven't done my research on it. So that caused the decline in price. And then what happened is the Bitcoin crash. When there's a bear market that starts somewhere, every asset in that market, even fundamentally strong or not, starts going down and down. And that's what happened and that's what is still happening with the Bitcoin crash. I'm not sure if it's going to crash more. I personally believe it will. So the bear sentiment translated into Kcoin. As you can see, the Bitcoin run up, and here you see the bear. Here you see the somewhat crash. This in the stock market would be a big crash, but in the Bitcoin community, or even the Bitcoin, it isn't. It is seen as a crash, but it's like, yeah, whatever. It's Bitcoin. It's like normal. That's crazy to me. That doesn't make sense, or it does actually. Does it make sense? And on top of the bear market crash, there was inflation going out of the roof. 15%, 10%. Okay, no, I'm exaggerating. 7%, 8%, 9%. I have seen even double-digit inflation growth, which meant people needed to pay their bills. All that free money that they thought was free money now has to go somewhere, and it's to pay their bills or whatever their necessities of life. So the first thing they look at, okay, where do I have my money that I can use to pay off my bills? The first thing they'll do is go into their investments, and their first investments would be crypto investment, because first of all, it's very easy to take out, and they're not really sure of what it's doing. It's absolutely, for the moment, it's doing nothing, just giving them more and more crypto. Is that something they want for their whole life, or they want to eat? Would you prefer? Let's be honest. Would you want to eat your meal today, or would you want to have more cake coin? Because that's not real cake. If cake coin gave out real cake, people would be buying more. But hey, that would be a smart idea. Also, like I said, it used to be a 200% APY. So if you understand supply and demand principle, that meant that even if the demand stayed steady, Kcoin was bound to go down because the supply was moving higher and higher every day. So if there was 3 coins initially, and they were worth $3 each, now in a year, if the 200% APY stayed, there was going to be 9 coins. And if it's the same people who wanted the Kcoin at $3, now there's more. So that would mean that the Kcoin's value would go lower because the supply is higher. That's the simple explanation of the supply and demand principle. As you can see on this Google image, when the supply goes down, the price goes higher. When the supply goes down, when the supply goes up, the price goes down. This is just simple principle of the capitalistic nature of our system. And that, unfortunately, that growing supply, that inflation growing, the bearish market in the bear market in crypto, the FOMO investors coming in led to a decline, and a tremendous decline in PancakeSwap's Kcoin, and also in almost every coin out there. I would say Bitcoin is one of the most steadiest coins, because all the other altcoin in the markets have faced tremendous amount of hate and tremendous amount of downward volume, unfortunately. So right now, if you are a trader, you're making a hell of a lot of money shorting anything at this current moment. If you are able to sell, how do you say sell? I forgot. Give me a second. You're making a lot of money shorting. That was the word I forgot about it. Shorting the market right now, because everything is unfortunately going down. What would be my prediction for Kcoin? It's gonna take time, and it's gonna come back if the developers keep innovating, keep coming up with new ideas, and PancakeSwap stays relevant. There's no fraud or anything that gets implicated in that platform. I personally believe this platform is a good platform to invest right now. Would I be investing right now? No, because I see better opportunities on a risk reward percentage, because obviously Kcoin has the possibility to go up to 45 again. And for it to go to 45, obviously the market cap would go to like 7 billion. Right now the market cap is at 760 million. If it goes to 7 billion, it's going to be really hard to imagine, but it could if FOMO starts getting in and everybody gets started getting in. But even if so, let's say it goes back to 43, but it's going to be FOMO investing, because fundamentally this does not represent a $7 billion market cap just for a DeFi platform. If I need to see way more innovation for it to be worth $7 billion. So we're gonna be stuck in the same cycle. Oh, FOMO back up, FOMO back down, FOMO crash, FOMO investors lose. So a lot of people are just gonna keep losing money or making a lot of money. Early investor make money, FOMO investor lose money. That's how it's gonna rework. So you need to educate yourself on that. That's why subscribing to BNB, the best channel on YTB, youtube.com. You should do it. Thank you.